From the Extreme Rarity Archives. Yes, we've got another one here from Tucson. It looks a little weathered, doesn't it? This is actually galvanized sheet metal that's pressed here, as you can see from the textures there. Volume, vibrato on, off, and speed, brilliance, string, oboe, horn, brass, flute, and a bass on, off, volume, and attack. And little stands in the top. That is it. Very simple combo organ from Hohner Elex, again, the Hohner International Series. This one, though, is so rare I can't find anything on it. One of the boards says, the generator board, says OS1 Elex. This one says AA49-something, which is typical nomenclature that's the model number for Hohner. It's got two internal speakers under there, under the fiberglass power supply, and this is the power amplifier circuit, which had a bad cap there I replaced. And yeah, the rest of the ESRs measured okay on this one. Had an out-of-tune note due to some bad solder, and now I've got that all ready to put back in. But that's the tone generators, 12 discrete tone generators that all look like that. And 6 SAJ110 SFF. I got those things. Yeah, that's 5002E or SAJ180. Dividers, 6 of them. So pretty simple layout here. Just a very nicely filtered. It's got coils on it, and these drawbars were near all missing. I had 3 of them. You can see 3 of the original caps. You see how they're shaped a little different. The rest of these are from a Farfisa VIP 345, which we had scrapped. And so I was able to grab the ones I needed and retrofit some of them, because I only had a limited number of most of these switches were missing, and so I had to scavenge more than the Farfisa had, so I had to use some of the old ones from this. And the drawbar ends do not quite fit. I had to shave a little off the sides and make the gap a little wider, and then the cap would fit onto the Hohner or Elex or whatever ones. The bass doesn't currently work. I hear it faintly, but I changed one high ESR 1 mic cap there, and something else is wrong. So I've got to figure that out, but the rest of it works. Now, after getting a fuse in there, which had fallen out, and checking over the power supply stuff and fixing that, and yeah, it actually, cleaning up the power switch, is 2-inch thick sides on this thing. I mean, look at this. Good grief. They made it so you can stand it on the side. What a novelty, huh? You got these typical mounts here for your stand legs, and they actually made it so the thing will stand without leaning weird like other typical ones. I just had one here. Oh yeah, I put it in the other room, didn't I? But anyway, they don't ever set straight because of those stand legs. But yeah, what a interesting rarity. The AA49 apparently is the model number on this thing. We'll get back later with a sound demo. Alright, have you seen anything like it? It is finished, hooray, hooray. I drew out a lot of the diagram, so I actually have documentation on it now to a great extent. I mean, I didn't draw the vibrato circuit, but I think it's the same as the VIP 345. Much of the design in the bass, what was that? Much in the bass circuit was the same as the VIP 345. Used different values, but it was the same basic design for what they call the attack, which is actually has nothing to do with attack. It has to do with sustain or decay. It's just a switch that turns that on and off. So anyway, we can do bass and off, and we can go with the keyboard all the way across. So let's see. First, maybe let's put a shot right here, down the way here. It just doesn't want to go at that angle. Okay, there we go. Maybe it'll stay. See me grab it in the middle, you'll know what happened. Okay. There it goes, yeah. Cool, well that's an extra feature. Should we do the Batman thing? No, let's try to make it level somewhat, right? Oh man. I'm just not going to use the top note. Okay, anyway. I think I can maybe bring it down there. Oh, that's better. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, now you can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's try the different presets here. Nothing. Flute with brilliance on and off. Brass with brilliance on and off. As you can see, there's not much brilliance on the flute because it rolls it off in a coil pretty nicely there. It's a low sine wave. Horn also has very little high end. String, oboe, flute, brass, horn, oboe, string. There's your range of vibrato and battery failed, so I'm back here. I guess we got the general sound demo in on that one. These are legs from my K3. The brace is too wide for the K3, and Paul gave me another one, and it's a little too wide too. It's narrower, but it still doesn't fit. I've got to tag some fabric down here. I'm going to do that next. It's got a glide. I haven't tried the glide yet. I guess that's probably just an oscillator preset, I imagine, switch that just drifts the pitch down and up when you press the button, so you can go wah wah. That people, you know, be fancy like that is a very fancy thing to do. This is a volume pedal. This has 40 volts on, that's a ground, has 40 volts on that taped line, and the other line is the signal, and so it can go to a standard LDR pedal. We want to do that, but sides are just epic. It's quite a design. Beautiful day here. I'm shadowing it, and the speaker's firing out the bottom, of course. And I didn't put the screws back in. I got to do that. Hold it together. That'll help. But anyway, yeah, I think it's all ready to find some collector that wants to have a one-of-a-kind possibly thing. I don't know if this may be a prototype. There's no designator except that AA49 on the board. Comes a nice noisy truck to perfectly skew any hope of hearing me. Hello, hello, do you hear me? Yes. Tire depot. Okay. Power supply vented out the back. Quite an interesting thing with those snaps on it too. Apparently it had a cover that snaps over the top. Somebody could maybe remake that. But at least most of the screws were there and stuff. It's got just about all the original hardware, I think. The ones on the bottom I think aren't original. That's about the only ones. And the little ones that hold the back there, they put cover screws in the back of this, and I put back the metric screws. Oh, and there's probably ones that are supposed to go in the front. I didn't put those in yet. Yeah, there's two that are supposed to go in there, so I'll use a couple other screws in that, I guess.